not just shoot the basketball, because we know you didn't make every shot. We know you missed a lot of them too. So show us everything and watch your content. Your content is huge. If I got another,
Don't make it super long. I don't want to watch a 10-minute video. I'm not going to watch 10 minutes. I'll watch 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops.
oh, here's another one. Don't send me a video and say, Coach, I think I'm a great fit for your program, but I look that you sent it to me, you sent it to him, you sent it to him, you sent it to another coach, you sent it to 20 coaches. Right? So you told all of us you were a great fit.
It's easy to tell when the message is copy and paste and you change Coach Capers to Coach Limbaugh.
Some of them even have their forward to several coaches. Open the email, you can see
Every coach we sent it to.
You know, and Coach was talking. I coached a kid that played at University of Alabama. He played basketball and football. They went to Alabama, won 2 or 3 national championships. And going back to what you was talking about, social media. My phone rings in the middle of basketball practice one day. I normally doesn't answer. I normally don't answer. I looked at it. I didn't recognize the number. So I didn't answer. The guy called back. I answered. He says, I'm such and such from the NFL front office. I hung up the phone. I'm like, well, the NFL coach wouldn't call me. He called back. I answered. He gave me the same opening statement. And I said, well, how can I help you? He said, I want to know about what kind of character David Dixon had in play. The kid was a good kid, but I didn't coach his position. He played basketball. I can't tell you about football. I coach defensive back. He says, I want you to talk to Xavier. We have a personal relationship. I looked at his Facebook page. We're trying to figure out before the draft if he's critical. Guys, me for. So he asked me to go on his page. I go on his page and look. He's there with some guys from the community that call themselves gangbangers or whatever the case may be. But he has a couple of flags hanging out his pocket, one wrapped around his wrist. So I got on me to call Xavier. I said, man, you just slipped. They think we gangbangers. Go and delete that entire Facebook page. You play football at the University of Alabama. Why are you hanging with these dudes? You know, get drafted by the New England Patriots, but y'all know who the Patriots are, right? Everybody know who they are, right? But he ended up getting cut from the team because them same dudes that was on his social media, he started bringing them to New England to hang out. So just like that 140 character tweet costs you $140,000. The other shit, it cost him a couple million. And he's walking the streets right now. Them dudes ain't nowhere to be found. So when Coach is talking to y'all about this social media, it's serious. It's serious. The guys can drag you down.
Got another? Anybody got another turn off? No.
Oh yeah. Being the father. Alright, because you got the leader, you got to rock your own way. You can't come in here trying to be like everybody else, copy everybody else, right? You got to be your own self, express yourself. Alright, something the leaders use. Some people take out just because of their leadership, because you need leaders on the team. Like any team that's led by coaches, they don't get as far. You got to be player-led teams. Like players coming in and sync with coaches.
We're going to briefly discuss with you, because some of you might not be aware, and especially this will be really good for parents too. If you've noticed in the last couple of years, you've seen recruiting on high school kids be a little suppressed, not as plentiful as it's been in previous times. Well, that's the reason of several things. And it's the reason why I'm telling you this, because as high school players, just trying to let you understand that you really, really have to work hard. Even the little drills that we did here, some of you struggled in some of those drills. You should take those things that you struggled with this morning, and when you're doing your workout back at the house, you should continue those drills and improve in that skill set, because that has to happen. You have to be able to do certain things at the college level. But one of the reasons why your recruiting has been suppressed is because the NCAA come out with this thing called a portal. So in the portal, you have transfers from Division I and Division II schools. This year it got up to 2,000, over 2,000 kids in the portal. So that means I'm leaving Georgia Southern, or I'm leaving Valdosta State, And when you go into the portal, all those kids in the portal are gonna go back Division I, gonna go Division II, gonna go junior college, or gonna go NAIA. They're going somewhere in that range. So that portal has suppressed you guys a little bit because a lot of coaches, regardless of level, that's where they're going to look first. So this year's 2,000 people in that portal, I think I checked last week, we're still like 600 in there. So what I'm telling you is, you're going to have some very good Division I players come August. They'll be sitting at home. They'll be sitting at home. So as high school kids, 2022, 2023, 24, 25, you got to work really hard to up yourself in that recruiting process and in that list. You got to jump higher. You got to separate yourself from the pack. And you got to be able to do the little things that he was showing you, in and out dribble and things like that. Because guess what? All those guys in the portal already know how to do that. Which is why a lot of coaches go to the portal, because the players simply are more experienced. So I think it should go back to normal. Y'all help me, maybe 2024, maybe. So in conjunction with the portal, then came the pandemic, okay? So for an example, we had the leading scorer in the league. He was a sophomore. He's supposed to lead and go to his 4-year school. Well, because of the pandemic, he didn't necessarily get what he wanted, so everybody got a free year. So every Division I player, every Division II player, every JUCO player, every Division III player, and NAIA player, if they was a senior, they don't have to leave. They can come back and play again. So that has suppressed your recruiting a little bit. Because usually guys have to go out the door and you come in. They don't have to go out. They get to stay, which leaves very little room for you to come in. So that's why you got to work hard and you got to eliminate the things that you may not be good at. You got to get better at those things. Coach, you had something about the portal.
I was just going to add on that you really have to separate yourself on maybe onto the college roster. Because with that extra year that everybody's getting back, it's a lot harder for you guys to get recruited. Because why would I take a high school kid that I've developed when I can get a junior college kid from a Division I school who's played 2 years already and can come play 3 for me? So you really got to separate yourself because of these circumstances that are kind of hurting you a little bit more than they would in a normal year.
Or transfer. Guys transfer laterally, some transfer up or down. Baylor is saying, I think, the #1 Division II school in the country. So leaves Division II. He's going to Baylor, who just won the national championship.
They just won.
So they didn't recruit, they just reloaded. It's when got another guy after 28 games. So, and that hurts you guys as well when you have those type of scenarios, because people are moving laterally, transferring up, transferring down, and they transfer or enter the portal for different reasons. Most of the time it's playing time, or maybe want to get closer to home. Usually guys just transfer transfer someone that's home state. But all of those things are really affecting high school kids. Like I said, probably over 2024, 25. So you gotta be separated. None of you guys doing the same thing. You gotta do something that's going to catch a coach. One thing I do know, that my 27 years experience, if you can defend and you can rebound, you play for anybody. Anybody.
I would say too, I think it's very important for you guys to know who you are as a basketball player. One of the things that we deal with coaching right now is that every big thinks he's a guard, and you're not. And you have to understand that it doesn't matter what you think you are, it's what we know you are. And that's where y'all kind of like get it twisted a little bit. You might think, you might be 6'8", you think you are 2, but we know you're not 2. And what you have to be careful with is you have to understand that if you are a 4, but you don't want to be a 4, then your playing time is going to be determined by a guy who is a 2. Whereas you're sitting there trying to be a 2. He is a 2. So who's going to get the playing time? The guy that is a 2, not the guy that's trying to be a 2. But if you are a 4, go be that 4. And then develop to be the 3. Develop to be the 2. But go give the coach what you are first. And work your way to become or expand something that you may want to be. So yeah, we like big guys that are guard, but we don't like big guys that are trying to be guards. We want you to be that. All right? Anything else? All right, so now, parents, student athletes, before we get going, give you an opportunity to ask us about the recruiting process and things that may concern you as a parent or as a student athlete. It's rare that you get to sit in front of this many coaches at the same time. So I know somebody got a question. Excuse me? Somebody, parents? Yes, sir.
I have a question. I work with a lot of kids, training, coaches and aides, things of that nature. The question I have for coaching is, I get a lot of time when kids give me a call and say, certain coach, contacted. What I'm trying to find out from coaches is how do you bridge the gap as far as getting the parent of that kid involved in the communication that you have with them? Because what I tend to notice a lot of times when you contact a kid and parents don't, have any knowledge of it, or parents don't really know that you have serious interest in the kid, I just don't see that it's going very far. So at what point in the process do you say, hey, can I get your parents on the line, and let's have a conference call or meeting with, the coach, the student athlete, and the parents? How do we get that?
And that's a great question. And that can become a different answer from all 6 of us, or however many of you. But I'll just start with me, and then they each can answer your question the best they can individually. One of the first questions I ask a recruit is, who's going to help you make this decision? Because for every kid, that's a different answer. Sometimes it might be you, the trainer, that's going to help you make that decision. Sometimes it could be the AAU coach. Sometimes it could be the high school coach. Sometimes it could just simply be a mentor. Sometimes it could be your dad. Sometimes it could be your mom. It could be your uncle. It could be your brother. So the first thing I want to know is, who's going to help you make that decision? And the reason why that question is important to me is because I'm not going to waste my time courting the people who are not important to the decision. So if you tell me that it's going to be me and my dad, well then, I ain't really into the high school coach or the AAU guys everyone. I'm into the kid and his dad, because that's where the decision is coming from. So that's one way to answer that question. Somebody else want to share enlighten on that?
I think we pretty much covered that.
I like for the parents to be involved from the word go. Unfortunately, it's not always the case. I think what we're doing right now helps what you're talking about. The fact that, we're sitting here having this conversation, and I'm sure we've said some things that
Yes.
parents may understand some things, but I'm sure right now we've said some things in the last 5 minutes that kind of educated you as a parent a little bit. Recruiting is a tricky situation. It's cutthroat, if that makes sense to you. It's a cutthroat business, and it's tricky. So it's very important that you know the tricks of the trade. Because people think that you can just go score 20 points and coaches want to sign you. No, we still got to check the character. We still got to check the academics. We still got to go through a whole lot of things. We got to do some background check. We got to call your high school coach. I want to sit in on your practice, because I want to see the coach go off on you, and I just want to see how you're going to respond. Are you going to get mad? You're going to call mom, or you're going to turn to the coach, put your head down, and do what you need to do the best you can. So you got to be able to handle adversity. You've got to be able to overcome some obstacles. You got to be able to climb some mountains in college athletics, totally, but especially in basketball. You got to be able to overcome some things, because every day not going to be rosy. But when it's not rosy, are you going to pull up your bootstrap, get with your coaches, and improve the situation or fix the wrong? Or are you going to just get on the phone and call your mom, who's 3 hours away, 2 hours away? Well, the answer is not in your mom. The answer is here. So in a sense, calling your mom. And I think sometimes athletes get confused is because sometimes, like up until 18, you can get in stuff and mom and dad can bail you out. But when you get to us, mom and daddy can't do nothing for you. Nothing. Nothing. Other than support you and help us keep you in line and help us keep you on the right road and on the right path. So you got to get in. Another thing we run into when we recruit is this is something that I'll do in the recruiting process just to see how serious you are about your craft. I'll say, okay, all right, you interested in us? Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go fill out the school application. I want you to go get your official high school transcript from your high school, and I want you to go do a workout specifically doing this, videotape it and send it to me. What am I doing when I ask him to do that?
Preparing him.
I'm just want to see if he gonna go do it.
Preparing him.
I want to see if he gonna go do it. See, if you go do it and text me back and say, Coach, I did this, and that. What I need to do next? See, that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I call you back, hey man, you did it yet? Well, my mom said she gonna do it tonight. Your mom ain't coming. You coming. Now I'm not saying mom can't help you. You understand? But you just can't take the responsibility that I gave to you and give it to somebody else. It's your job to get it done, even if you need somebody else to help you do it. It's your job. So if I find that you can't do the little simple thing, then I know you can't run my play.